The thing with adobe is that these folks didn't have trees. And they figured out a way to build with basically dirt, or a combination of dirt and hay. And maintenance is part of the deal, because it's not durable in the manner of, say, concrete or wood. There's adobe troweled on the surface, and then it's whitewashed usually. The whitewash helps seal the adobe. This is building that requires care to persist. And so old adobes have been looked after. That's why they're still there. I actually think that care is part of making. That buildings or things in the world persist in part because they're durable. They're made in such a way that they stick around. But they also persist through care. If you look after something, it can last a long time too. You know, the British crown jewels are quite delicate, except they've been around a really long time. It's funny, if you could put something on the top of a tower and make guards stand around it, it'd stay there. I think that's part of it, but maybe what's most interesting about adobe is that it is a material that requires, it's incredibly persistent, but it requires care to be incredibly persistent. So it's kind of participatory architecture in that way. Buildings that are thought of as just durable, and makers who are thought of as sort of, you know, heroic, to hold up society with their tremendous imaginations. That's sort of the errant worldview. But if you sort of take into account that things come to us from makers from before, we're not going to be childish about it and say we just have to restore them because we must worship the wonder that is our forefathers. We're not going to act like heroic makers of the 20th century and bulldoze them because my idea is better. But actually what you do is you take care of them. And part of taking care of them is manipulating them and making them continue to be useful. So the act of care, repair, renovation, revision is tied up with the act of making and the property of durability. You can really sort of see that in almost precise operation in adobe architecture. It only persists if people take care of it. And participating is kind of what you're called to do by a custodial ethic. This stuff comes to you from the past, and you are obligated to look after it and to participate in its life, because because knocking it down is not always the best idea, and trying to preserve the past in amber it's not very effective either.